Are you going to be able to come tomorrow? If so, I'm really looking forward to seeing you again.
I'm still planning on coming tomorrow. I heard you had yourself a really beautiful house built, right? I'm sure that even Faye is really happy about that now, too.
Well, this is what Faye had dreamed of happening, so of course she's happy about all of it. If she wasn't smiling about the new house, then I'd really have no clue what she wants and would probably go crazy trying to figure that out.
Have you already gone and told her that I'll be coming over as well tomorrow?
I let her know once already. I said that you'd be around, even when I have my meeting. But I'll do my best to leave a lot of time open to you when you're around, so that we can all talk. We can talk more about all of that later on, as I'd really like to continue talking to you about those things from earlier.
Understood. I'll be coming by myself tomorrow, okay? But I'll make sure that next week I bring everything we talk about up with my leader and we'll discuss things.
Alright, thank you, Gianna. Although, having to be helped by someone like you is a little embarrassing for me.
What are you talking about, Gage? I'm your little sister and want to make sure everything goes well for you, just like you'd do for me if I needed the help. We siblings have to stick together in times like these, right?
Hearing something like that from you really warms my heart. But I still feel as though I should be the one responsible for my company, and now having you around helping me, I need to be more diligent in getting good results.
I'm hoping for that as well for you. But you're my older brother, so you'll be alright. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow and seeing that new house. Gage is having a problem within his company and has gone to resolve the issue. So he won't be back home until after you've already showed up here, okay? That's what I'd heard from him as well. He made sure to tell me before I got into my car. I still plan on being there at the time I told you both yesterday. Is that all right with you still? I heard from him that you're going to be the one to show me around the new house while he's out at the office. But if he's going to be coming home later today, then I can wait for him, or even possibly come over another day if you'd like. What do you want to do? What are you planning to do by coming over to our house? Huh? I heard from him that you're planning on staying the night here and whatnot. But do you think you'll actually be getting anything from us just because we're both well off? Let me tell you right now, if you come into this home and start stealing from us, you're going to be in very deep water. What? Can you slow down for just a minute? Why are you starting to talk about me as though I'd be coming over to steal anything from you two? I have no reason to be stealing from you both, right? I'm just coming over to hang out and talk with the both of you as well as see the new house you both have. Well, think about it, Gianna. You're nothing more than a dirty janitor, right? Excuse me? And all janitors are both lowlifes and moneyless. And now that you've heard that your brother is a CEO, you think you can come over here and take our things? If that's what you're thinking, I'd like you to stand back and rethink your plans. Gage is my husband now, right? He doesn't have the time to take care of moneyless slobs like you anymore. Hold on a second, Faye. I think you have a bit of a misconception of me or something that's making you say all these things. Actually, I don't even know what you're trying to infer about me right now based on all that you've just told me. There we go. You can't even make up a good excuse. You know that I'm right about what I've said about your plan, and now the only thing you can say back to me is that I'm the one with a misconception and that I'm wrong. Well, to start, can you stop looking down on me for being a janitor like that? I'd like to know what's so bad about being a janitor in your eyes. It's due to janitors that the inside and outside of buildings like your husband's are so clean and well kept for everyone working in them. And for the most part, those that work for a cleaning and janitorial company are usually very proud of the work they do and want to do their best. What are you going on about? I feel bad for all you freaks that only have enough brain in you to clean the toilets of complete strangers all day long. The fact that you all are so daft that you can only make money from work like that is just depressing. Your brother ended up being the CEO of a very well-regarded company, yet somehow his little sister had to turn into a crap cleaner. That's so unfortunate for him. When I married him, I never knew he had a tragic little sister like you working a gross job like that. Tragic? That's a bit rude of you to say to me, right? Well, anyway, I'll be arriving at your house here soon, so we can talk more about all of this in person and hopefully clear all of this up. I think you have a misunderstanding of me, so I'd like for that to all go away with a quick explanation from me about who I really am and what my intentions really are. You sad sight! How does it feel to have toilet water thrown all over you like that? If this has taught you anything, then get out of my house and never come back here again. I am appalled. I heard that you were a pretty tough woman when it came to being nice, but for you to actually act out like that towards your own sister-in-law? I only came here today to celebrate my brother moving into a brand new house, but you're telling me that you threw all that toilet water on me just because I'm a janitor? What the hell were you thinking, Faye? I doubt that by asking you that I'll get an answer that I can understand, but I have to ask you at least once. Of course, a lowlife like you would never be able to understand any answer I gave you to that question. Now, to be clear, the reason for all of that was because a lowlife like you thought you could come into this beautiful house of mine. Your beautiful house? That's the house that my brother built, right? So what? Whatever he calls his is also mine, right? I know that you were having a pretty good time splashing all that water onto me and are feeling on top of the world right now. You're going to regret all of that real soon. Why should I ever regret what I've done to you? I was just protecting my beautiful house from a beggar like you getting in here. You actually think I'd let your lowlife butt in here? I don't care that you're my sister-in-law, Gianna. I had to throw that water on you to keep you from taking any of my money and things. Then I'll be halting my transfer of any more money to you guys. We don't need whatever money you think you have. And actually, what the hell do you mean you've been giving us money? Do you actually think you can do something like that for us? You are aware that my husband runs a very well-off company, right? Well, I'm sure you don't understand the whole picture right now, but I really didn't expect you to be this blind to what's all been going on around you. Huh? What are you talking about right now, Gianna? I'm going to do just as you've asked and head home. But be aware that the money I've been giving your husband to keep his company from becoming a burning mess will stop. Do you really expect me to believe that you've been giving my husband money to keep his company afloat? I'm going to let him know right now that you've gone home. And please, never come around my beautiful house ever again. I don't have time to cater to scum like you. Understood. I wish you good luck after this. What do you want with me now? Things have changed. Do you think you can start heading back to my house? No. Why the hell would I come back there? What makes you think asking me a stupid question like that after what you've done would be such a good idea, And what do you mean things have changed for you? Before, I didn't believe a word you'd said about the current state of things regarding you and my husband. But when I told him that you'd gone home already, he was furious. He kept saying I really screwed him over big time. He's on his way home right now in a panic, and I want to know what I should do about him. Why are you asking me what you should do right now about him? Why the hell is Gage freaking out so much right now? To tell you the truth, I am the owner of a cleaning services company, and for a while now I'd been working with my brother to support his company with funding. I'm assuming that he's really worried about all of that right now. Huh? You're the CEO of a cleaning services company? I sure am. I see that you had been confusing me for just being a simple janitor this whole time, but I'm not the one cleaning and doing all that work. Rather, I'm the one running the company that employs people to do that work. And as for my brother's company, it's been on the brink of collapsing for a bit now, and I'd been planning on helping keep him afloat. And as for me coming over today, the reason was for me to talk with him about what to do next regarding the money I'd been handing him and his company. Of course, I was also coming over to celebrate you both moving into that new house, but the main reason was to talk business. No, there's no way that should be true. You're supposed to be some low-level janitor, Gianna. Your brother even told me that you work for a cleaning services company. And that's not wrong. The only difference is that I don't just work for the company, but run it as well as the company's CEO. How many more times do I have to repeat that to you for you to understand me? I get that a long time ago I had been working as a janitor and all, but that was just to learn about the field I'm working in and to understand how to run a company like this one. Is that so? I never heard a thing about any of that. So you're telling me that all of this was just a misunderstanding between us? No matter how you try and think about it, you did misunderstand me. But you having had little idea about who I actually am has nothing to do with me now. Because as of now, I can see that you're totally okay with throwing toilet water all over me because you thought I was a janitor. Well, that was just because I had a misconception of you, a simple misunderstanding. Normally, I'd never actually do anything as rude as that to anyone. You could even call that a joke of sorts. I just assumed you were coming to steal things from us, and that since you were supposedly a janitor, the whole splashing toilet water over you would be a good form of defense. I think a person like you won't have much more of a future anymore where you're still married to my brother now. Huh? What does that mean? I'm saying that after this, I don't think you and him are going to have a successful future together. I doubt he's the kind of guy to allow a witch like you to be by his side. Actually, I know a guy like him won't allow that. I don't really get what you're talking about, but I'm saying that now that my brother and I have a good idea of the person you truly are, we're no longer going to want to have anything to do with you. And really, I don't even have the will to help him with his company any longer, so I'll make sure to let him know that here. Hold on a sec, Gianna. You're joking about actually telling him what happened between us, right? He's already furious with me about sending you home, but if you go telling him about the reason for that, he'll explode and take me down with him. And none of that is anything I'm worried about at the moment. Gianna, let's take a moment to let the air cool between us and talk this over again, okay? How about we both just forget about everything that happened earlier? I'm calm right now, Faye. And the air has remained a very comfortable temperature for me so far. And unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to forget what you just did to me. You literally threw a bucket of toilet water in my face when I walked through the door and started laughing at me when you saw my face. Only those with the most twisted of souls would ever do that to another person over them having a job as a janitor. You really want me to forget that? Think about it. There's really no way to forget any of that. I told you that you're wrong about that. Please, listen to what I've been trying to tell you. I really had no clue that you were such an amazing person before I did all of that to you. I just had the idea that you were some failure that's had to live life working as a scummy janitor was all. What I did to you back then was all due to the thought that you were nothing more than a lowlife. Oh, God. You think that I'm going to follow your reasoning for all of that? What you're telling me is that you really do hate those that you deem to be lowlives, including janitors. Huh? That's not what I meant by that. Well, with that kind of thinking, you've basically just told me that you hate everyone that works for me in my company, and that they're all scum and have no money. You wouldn't want me telling all of them that now, would you? I'm really confused right now. What the hell are you thinking, talking about people that you know nothing about like that? I'm sorry. I didn't think that you and my brother would be getting this upset with me over what I said. It's just, when most people think of a janitor, they think of someone working a pretty low-level job and someone that's never graduated from college. I'm sorry that my thoughts got to me so easily. But now I can see you're not some low-life scum, but a very successful CEO. So you don't have to worry, because I'd never look down on someone that runs their own company and has a lot of money from it. So can you calm down now? I'm your friend, after all. You must not understand the definition of friend, then. Because to me, and anyone else looking at this situation, you're anything but a friend to me. And at this point, I've already let my brother know about everything from today. Huh? What do you mean by everything from today? Well, I started by telling him about how you threw a bucket of toilet water on me, and then about how I will no longer be helping him by funding his company. I also made sure he knew that as long as you're with him, I'd never come around him again. And that he would no longer be getting any kind of help from me ever again. Why would you tell him things like that? You're making me look like the bad guy for some reason. I'm not sure why you ended up the way you are, but after what you've done to me today, I think it's totally acceptable of me to label you as a bad guy of sorts. I told you I understand, though, and I'm apologizing to you now, right? Why are you being so heartless towards me after all the effort I've put into apologizing to you? Are you telling me that you don't want to make up with me after that? What do you mean by us making up? And do you think after all you've done to me, a simple apology is going to get me to forgive you? We're not kids anymore, Faye. You even ended up saying terrible things about the employees working for me, so I'm definitely not forgiving you for that, as I'm sure none of them would. Now, if you want to discuss what's going on right now some more, you can wait for Gage to get home and talk with him. I have nothing left to say to you now, so that's that. Wait a second, though. Gianna, this is all really messed up, right? If you leave things the way they are, I am 99% sure that Gage is going to kick me out of this house. And I'd have to say that that'd be the correct choice when it comes to handling you. Are you kidding me? Why would you say something like that now? Was what I did really that bad? I think you're going a little overboard by saying all of that crap about me. Come on and do something about this, Gianna. Right now, our marriage is on the line, and you're the only one that can do anything to save it. Don't you want to help your brother stay happy? The only reason for your marriage being in danger is due to you being a terrible person, Faye. Now figure something out and try your best to avoid losing your husband. You already told me that I'm not allowed around your house since I'm a lowlife. But if you're thrown out by my brother, that must be because you're more of a lowlife than even me. That would only be fair, though, right? Since you made that rule up. Are you really going to say things like that? I apologized for cleaning your face off with that toilet water already, right? I promise I won't say anything bad about you anymore regarding your job, okay? So please, just frickin' forgive me. No thanks. But hey, this all matches exactly with what you said about me. I'm a lowlife, and letting your marriage fall apart is definitely something a lowlife would allow to happen. At least I'm not the one that'll be going through hell here soon, so have fun, you witch. In the end, Gage made his way back home with his face beet red, telling Faye to get out of his house without even giving her a chance to retort. Once he had her outside, he then went and locked all the doors and proceeded to grab all her things and toss them out the window for her to take. Then the following day, he began the process of divorcing her. Faye hasn't had a job of her own for a very long time, and so her pockets were empty leaving that house, and has since been on the streets trying to figure out what to do next. But this is all well deserved after all the horrible things Faye said and did to Gage's little sister Gianna. Luckily for Gage, after he had gotten rid of and divorced Faye, Gianna came back to him and said that she'd continue to help fund his company. I'm sure she never wanted to threaten him with ending the flow of money to his company, but it was the only way to get him to throw Faye away, which needed to be done after what she'd done to Gianna. Anyway, Faye is going to be on the streets for a long time now following these unfortunate events. But hopefully, while she's going through hard times, she begins to learn the importance of everyone, even those that she considers lowlives, like herself.